West, y'all.
Oh, I just want to touch on your remember food for thought posts you've been doing on your social media. So these are little quotes of inspiration.
Yeah.
That you've been posting up on your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Are you on Facebook as well?
Yeah, bro. On Facebook, I usually post everything connected with my Instagram, but I need to, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to go through some of these inspirational quotes you got. So you've named them food for thought. So the first one is, why are you always focused on what you can't control? Focus on what you can, not what you can't. Focusing on what you can't will give you doubts and belief. Focusing on what you can will clear your mind to accomplish more.
Yeah. Bro, like, when I was, main thing why I was trying to focus on that food for thought is like, a lot of us really, if you think about it, right, we get stressed or we worry about a lot of things that we can't control in our day-to-day lives, right? And I guess with whatever it may be, whatever you're doing, whatever goal you're trying to succeed or where you're trying to fulfill success, there's going to be obstacles no matter what, right? And there's a lot of people who are out there who, I guess they think about, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this hard? Why is this here? To be honest, like everyone has their different trials and struggles. And some of us tend to keep our mind focused on the ones that we can't control. Like, no matter what's going to happen, like, you can't control the weather, right? It's going to rain or shine no matter what. But it's depending on your mind and your mentality on how you see throughout the day, right? Like, maybe if it's raining, it might be a little harder, but you can still do whatever you can for that day. So I guess just having a different mindset and controlling on what you can do. Like, even though it's raining, I can still choose to go work out or go focus on my next goal, or go find someone to talk to help with whatever business plan I'm trying to implement. So like, there's so many things out there that we need to focus more on what we can control and stop focusing on what we can't control.
Nice, brother. It's like the athlete. Eh? You can't control the
yep.
fans. You can't control the fans, but you can focus on your on your work and practice, and try to win the game for the fans.
Yep. So you don't end up on the podcast.
Okay, the next quote. Remember, progressing 1% is better than looking for perfection. Focus on your progression, not perfection. Progression is the process.
Yeah. Bro, that quote's like, that's good, bro. Like, just thinking about like 1%. Like, a lot of people don't think 1% is a lot, But if you think about it, like, we can, I don't know, my mentality is, we can never be perfect, but we can progress and move and become excellent, One of a close friend of mine told me, you can never achieve perfection, but if you're consistent in what you do, you can achieve excellence, So 1% of the time, and continue to progress and trusting the process, that's going to enable you to achieve any goal you have in mind, whatever it may be, or whatever idea you may have. If you think about moving forward one step at a time, but sooner or later you're gonna end up where you want to be. So, yeah,
it's like taking the baby steps to your goal.
Yep.
Eh? Yeah, I like that one. Taking baby steps.
Baby steps.
The next one is, positive goals lead to positive actions. Positive actions lead to purposeful life. Positive actions lead to a purposeful life. Even a 1% change is positive and purposeful. Set goals, make plans.
I like that. I guess I have a big love of goal setting and achieving goals. You know, like when it comes to like the 1st of January, you always want to set your goals. And when it comes to New Year's, you want to try and spread out and try to achieve those whatever goals you may have for that year. And I guess the most important part is goal setting is the number one thing to achieve any venture you want to pursue, whatever it may be. Whatever dream you have, you should always have a goal. And I guess those positive goals is what's going to be able to help you accomplish. Because once you make a goal, you automatically have to make a plan. And once you make a plan, you automatically have to set yourself up so you can achieve small goals to accomplish your big goals. And then you have to meet those small plans so you could be able to achieve those big plans and be able to achieve those goals. So I guess everything comes hand in hand. Like when you set goals, that's the number one thing that you have to think about when you're over there achieving, whether it be education, school, no matter whatever it may be.
All right, so the next one is, remember, if you are persistent, you will get it. If you are consistent, you will keep it. It takes both to achieve any goal we have.
Yeah, just going back to consistency, and when we're consistent and persistent, I feel that are two key elements on what we can be able to achieve any plan or goal we have. So yeah, that's kind of relates to the last one that that we talked about.
Yeah, I like that. The last two, 1 and 2. That consistency, taking baby steps, being positive. It all relates, and it's kind of like the opposite. Have you heard that saying, like you on a downhill spiral?
Yeah.
Like when you get into bad stuff, then bad things happen to you, and you just keep going down that downward spiral. Well, there's an actual opposite to that, and there's upward spiral.
An upward spiral.
Yeah, and this is the stuff that you do that will make you go up that upward spiral.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. When we talk, because when you talk about downward spiral, when you take drugs and you just don't know what you're doing, you waste it every day. You don't care about anybody. Go down that downward spiral. But if you do these things, what you've talked about in your posts, it's that upward spiral, mate.
100%, bro.
Okay, the next one is, if people can't reciprocate the same energy that you give, stop wasting your time. Stop planting flowers in people's yards if they aren't going to water them.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. I feel like, especially for a lot of us, I'm pretty sure there's a couple of us that can relate to giving energy where it's not wanted, or where they don't want to use it. Like when you're planting, a lot of us plant flowers to people that don't want to water it. So I feel like thinking about that is like, we have to choose choose the specific people, the right people who we surround ourselves with, right? Because at the end of the day, you're gonna have those people who are legit, are gonna not water your flowers, not give you that same energy. It can be relationships, friendships, whatever it may be. If someone doesn't respect your time and energy, it's not okay, to not give that back, or sometimes people use that against people, take advantage of those flowers, take advantage of that energy that is given but not given back, So I guess it's just, we have to be aware sometimes of who we surround ourselves with.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think that's one that's heard throughout. That's the big one, eh? Like, if you want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people, eh, man?
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's good when you got your podcast. You can get people from your community, that have done something with their lives or have a goal that
Yeah.
they're trying to achieve. You bring them in, you have a conversation with them, you talk to them, you get inspired too, and I find that too with our podcast back on 135, how we get all these people in to talk about their journeys in life, and they're all different, but the goals are the same.
Mm-hmm.
To succeed in what passion you have,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like if you have the passion, then obviously there's gonna be some people out there with the same with the same passion as you. So it's good to get around those kind of people, and go the same way.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is you have the power to choose to be happy or sad. Although we can't control obstacles in our lives, we can choose how we face them. It's a mindset.
Mm.
Focus on things you can control. What are some things you can control in your life?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that one, because I think I 100% honestly believe that we can choose how we have the power to do our best that we can, the best of our ability to achieve how we feel, and how we take on challenges, right? Like, I know no matter what, like, there's some things that happen in our lives that's understandable, that can cause suffering and heartache sometimes. And it just depends on how we look at those situations and how we choose to feel and what we choose to do. Yeah, because we can choose to be happy. I believe we can choose to be happy, and it's a choice that we can make. I'm not saying that it's going to happen right away, but we can do our best that we can to do all that we can to set ourselves in a place where we can have a clear, strong mindset, no matter what may happen in our lives,
Yeah, it's it is a strong one, this one, because when it comes to mental health, especially depression, it's
Yeah.
hard to try find an answer to some of these questions, and I feel like, if happy, is it easy to just say, just choose to be happy or choose to be sad, or choose to be happy? Like, I find it like, I think happiness is a result of something that you do.
They do.
Like, if, like, we talked about a passion, talked about having a passion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to, because when you think about how people suffer from depression, because I don't really understand it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to see friends and family go through it without you knowing.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't understand it, I can't tell what the signs are.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels, and it's hard because I don't think no one can, because the whole talking about it and thing hasn't been around until most recently. Talking about your feelings and talking about your feelings, and a lot of podcasts out there help people to talk about their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that's, I like that one. I think that one was my favorite one.
Yeah.
But I just want to do one more.
Yeah, sounds good.
So the next one, this one's pretty cool. Don't let social media fool you into thinking you have something you're not. Being you is more important than being something you are not. Question: how has social media affected you to do something you're not?
Yeah. I feel like we live in a time where society just bases everything solely on what's online, what social media has, like, we see people or we follow people and we see different lifestyles, or we see different things, or we see things that we want or things that we might want, but if you look back and look at it on social media, it becomes a place where we compare to things that we compare ourselves to something that we're not, you know? Or because I feel like it can sometimes trick us to thinking that we might want that, not knowing, like, you know, like that's not who we really are. And social media, if it's not, if we don't have the correct discipline for it, it can really get you to a point where it can affect your day-to-day life, where like you have to do everything that social media tells you to do, right? It's basically, you know, online controls your life. But sometimes we just need to take a step back and look like who we really are and what we really want. And yeah, we don't need society to tell us who we are, especially social media, you know?
Mm-hmm. Especially times like these, man. The digital age, social
Yeah.
media is strong now, and you know me. I grew up in a time when there was no internet, and now being in a time with internet, I sort of know the I sort of have best of both worlds.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
so when I was a kid, I was always playing outside. You know, riding
100%,
bikes and,
bro.
and climbing up trees and playing and playing at the backyard and stuff like that. But now, man, it's definitely a new thing to try and get around, especially with the consuming part of it. Because I feel
Yeah.
like because one advice I got from one of our guests we had on our podcast was that it's the for he said the secret is to be more of a creator than a consumer. You use social media for more creating than to consume. Because if you think about kids these days, how they're just stuck in front of their iPad or even games, you know, like that's all. You know that all they're doing is just consuming, like
Consuming.
hours of the day, hours in the week. But if they reverse that and use the technology to
To be a
create,
creator.
to be a creator, like I'm not talking about doing TikTok, doing a dance and that, but I'm just talking about like doing art or doing editing or doing learning how to work Photoshop and creating posters or doing like
Being
creative stuff with
yeah, productivity.
being yeah, like you can that you can arm yourself with more tools
Yeah.
with technology than you can
Mm,
consuming all the social media stuff. But yeah, man, that's
100%.
I think we're still finding our feet on that one.